All right, so today we're going deep on the story of Selena Quintanilla-Pérez.
The Queen of Tejano music.
Yeah, you shared her Wikipedia page with me, and wow,
Yeah.
there's a lot there.
A lot to unpack.
Yeah, so we're going to try to hit the highlights of her life and her career and her legacy.
Well, I think this is going to be a good one because it's not just a biography of her life. It's
Yeah.
about kind of what shaped her and why she was so important and
Yeah.
why she still resonates so strongly today.
Right.
So we'll see her early struggles and how she rose to fame and that whole crossover aspiration she had.
Right.
And we'll also look at how she impacted music and fashion and the Latino community as a whole.
Well, that's a good place to start. I guess right at the beginning, she was born in Freeport, Texas,
Okay.
April 16th, 1971,
Right.
youngest of 3 children.
Okay.
Her mother was Mexican-American with some Cherokee ancestry,
Mm.
and her father was Mexican-American and a former musician.
Interesting.
Yeah, and here's a fun fact. She was delivered by Ron Paul.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
who later became a representative.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of a wild little...
That's a good trivia question.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
uh, they were raised as Jehovah's Witnesses, and her father noticed her musical talent when she was about 6 years old,
Okay.
saying that she just had perfect pitch and timing even back then.
So you can really see how the family's background and their experiences really played into her musical trajectory from the beginning,
Oh, yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because, raised as a Jehovah's Witness, and then the dad kind of noticing her talent right away at 6.
Yeah.
It's like right there.
Yeah. And he fostered it right away, too, because in 1980, they opened a Tex-Mex restaurant
Okay.
called Papagayos.
Right.
And she and her siblings, Selena y los Dinos,
Okay.
they performed there.
Right there in the restaurant.
Yeah, it was like their first
That
stage.
training ground.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the recession of the early 80s hit them pretty hard, and the restaurant closed.
Yeah, it's a tough time.
Yeah, and they actually had to declare bankruptcy
Wow.
and move to Corpus Christi.
Okay.
But it's almost like this period of hardship, it just like pushed them into making music even more of a focus.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, her father became the manager of Selena y los Dinos.
Okay.
And they just started performing like on street corners at weddings.
Just hustling?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
anywhere to
It's
like,
on ends meet.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so because of that, her father actually took her out of school in the 8th grade.
Wow. Okay.
And one of her teachers, Marilyn Greer, was not happy about it at all and threatened to report him to the Texas Board of Education.
It's interesting, right? Because you can see that that's a really tough call for parents to make, right?
Exactly.
Obviously it worked out, but still, that's like,
Well, she did later get her high school diploma through correspondence and even pursued a degree in business administration.
oh, okay. Well,
So it wasn't like she completely...
so she shows that it is possible to do both,
Yeah.
You can pursue your artistic dreams and still get an education.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for her.
Yeah, so they toured in this old bus they called Big Bertha.
Big Bertha.
Yeah, and sometimes they'd even sing for their meals because they were so tight on money.
Wow, that's dedication.
Yeah.
Like literally singing for your supper.
Right.
Wow.
And then in 1984, they released their first LP.
Okay.
It was called Selena y los Dinos
Makes sense.
on Freddie Records.
Right.
So this is interesting because Selena really loved English language pop music.
Okay.
But her father, he pushed for her to perform Tejano music,
Tejano music.
which was a male-dominated genre rooted in Mexican culture
Okay.
with influences from German polka,
Oh, wow. Interesting.
yeah, and like American country and jazz.
So it's kind of a mix of everything.
Yeah, it's a really interesting genre.
It is. Yeah.
And Selena actually had to learn Spanish phonetically to sing it.
Wow. So she didn't even speak Spanish.
No, not fluently.
No.
So she had to learn it just so she could perform this music that her dad thought she should be performing.
That's incredible.
Yeah. But she started to get some exposure by appearing on the Johnny Canales show.
Okay.
And that was a popular Spanish language television program.
Right.
And then she was discovered by Rudy Trevino of the Tejano Music Awards.
Okay.
And she won Female Vocalist of the Year in 1987.
Wow.
And then 9 consecutive years after that.
9 in a row?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but they did face a lot of rejection early on from different venues because of their age.
Oh, yeah.
And because Selena was a woman fronting a Tejano band.
So like a lot of sexism
Yeah.
in the
See,
industry.
like promoters would straight up tell her dad that a woman in Tejano just wouldn't work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But by 1988, they had already released 5 more LPs.
Okay.
They were called Alpha,
Okay.
Muñequita de Trapo.
Uh-huh.
And the winner is
Okay.
Preciosa and Dolce Amor.
All right, so they're just cranking out the albums.
They were working hard, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so now we get to the late 80s and we start to see that broader appeal starting to happen.
Mm.
So Jose Behar, who launched EMI Latin Records,
Okay.
and the head of Sony Music Latin, they were both at the 1989 Tejano Music Awards,
Uh-huh.
and they both saw Selena perform
All right.
and were impressed.
Yeah.
Sony actually offered her double the signing fee
Wow.
than EMI Latin.
Okay.
But her father decided to go with EMI Latin
Interesting. Why?
because they offered the potential for a crossover album.
Oh, okay, so he saw that bigger picture.
Yeah, he really wanted his kids to be like the flagship artists for this new label.
Yeah.
That was his goal.
That's cool.
It's interesting, though, because even before Selena started recording her Spanish debut for EMI Latin,
Okay.
Behar suggested a crossover album,
Uh-huh.
and the pop division at EMI, they rejected it.
Really? Why?
They thought she needed to build a bigger Spanish-speaking fan base first.
Oh, so they just didn't think she was ready.
Right.
Interesting.
And Behar himself actually felt like there was some skepticism within the label about whether a Mexican-American woman
Yeah.
could really cross over into the mainstream.
It's interesting, right? Like
Yeah.
they sign her,
Yeah.
but they don't really believe in her yet
Exactly.
to do the big thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So in October of 1989, she releases her self-titled debut album,
Okay.
Selena.
All right.
And it does, well, it hits #1 on the Billboard Regional Mexican Albums chart.
Not bad for a debut.
Yeah. And around the same time, she also becomes a spokesperson for Coca-Cola in Texas.
Wow. Big deal.
Yeah. And get this, her brother A.B. and Chris Perez, who was the band's new guitarist,
Okay.
they co-wrote the jingle for the commercials.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Family affair.
it is.
Yeah.
And so speaking of Chris Perez,
Oh, here we go.
he and Selena started a secret romantic relationship.
Oh, this is juicy.
Yeah.
All right.
Which was complicated because Perez was already in a relationship.
Oh, so even more drama.
Yeah.
Okay.
And her father was really not a fan of his.
So double trouble.
Yeah. So they kept their relationship very quiet.
Yeah. Smart move.
Then in 1990, she released her second studio album, Ven Conmigo.
Okay.
And this album had the super popular hit, Baila Esta Cumbia.
Baila esta cumbia.
Yeah. And it was huge in Mexico.
Okay.
So she's starting to really gain popularity south of the border, too.
Yeah, crossing over in a different way.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So around this time, there's a fan named Yolanda Saldivar.
Yolanda.
Yeah.
Okay.
She approached Selena's father about starting a fan club in San Antonio.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, free publicity.
And Yolanda quickly became like a close part of the family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the acting president of the fan club.
So this is in 1991?
Yeah, 1991.
Okay.
And then later that year, Selena had another big success.
Okay.
She duetted with Salvadoran singer Alvaro Torres
Okay.
on a song called Buenos Amigos.
All right.
And this song hit #1 on the Billboard Top Latin Songs chart.
Wow. So her first #1.
Yes, her very first #1.
This is huge. Yeah. And this really led to her touring a lot more and getting played on a wider variety of radio stations.
Okay, so now she's breaking out of just Tejano radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Okay, so now we jump ahead to 1992,
All right.
and Selena's sister Suzette saw Selena and Chris Perez flirting.
Uh-oh.
And she immediately told their dad.
Yeah, snitching.
And he was,
That never ends well.
no, it does not.
Never.
So he was not happy.
Yeah, you could imagine.
Yeah, he took Perez off the tour bus
Wow.
and was like, I don't want you seeing my daughter anymore.
Oh, man. Talk about overprotective.
Yeah, but they kept seeing each other secretly.
Oh, of course they did.
Yeah, and actually, her mother approved of the relationship.
Okay, so a little bit of a divide
Yeah,
in the family.
exactly.
Okay.
And then her father saw them together again. And there was a big argument, and he called Perez a cancer in my family.
Oh, wow. Harsh.
Yeah,
So this guy's really serious.
he was serious, yeah.
Interesting.
And he threatened to break up the band
What?
if they kept seeing each other.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So Selena and Chris eloped on April 2, 1992.
Wow, that's a big move.
Yeah, they figured if they were married, he'd eventually have to accept it.
I mean, it's hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he took it really badly at first.
I bet he did.
Yeah, he distanced himself from Selena.
Wow.
Yeah. And she and Chris moved into an apartment together in Corpus Christi.
Okay.
And later, her father admitted that he was scared Perez would be controlling.
Oh, he thought he was gonna be like a machista kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly. And that he would force her to quit music.
Wow.
But eventually her father apologized to Chris.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
So they reconciled.
he did. Yeah. And he even rehired him for the band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And then just a month later, in May 1992, Selena releases her third studio album.
Okay.
It's called Entre a mi Mundo.
Entre a mi mundo.
Yeah, and this is considered her breakthrough album.
Okay.
It topped the Billboard Regional Mexican Albums chart for 8 months straight.
Wow, 8 months.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It was a huge success
Yeah.
in both the U.S. and Mexico.
Okay.
But she still faced some challenges, especially in Mexico.
Really? What kind?
Well, during a press tour in Monterrey,
Okay.
there was some kind of a look down on Tejanos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and her Spanish wasn't perfect for like long interviews.
Yeah.
So the EMI Latin execs were kind of nervous about how it would go.
Right.
But she really won over the Mexican media.
Good for her.
Yeah, they saw her as authentic.
Okay.
And they really liked her.
Yeah.
So she toured extensively throughout Mexico after that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, including a huge concert in Nuevo León that drew 70,000 people.
70,000 people.
Yeah.
Wow, that's massive.
And of course, we can't forget Como la Flor. From that album, it became her signature song.
Oh, yeah.
And it really cemented her popularity in Mexico and on the Latin music charts.
Como la Flor, such a good song.
So good.
So iconic.
Yeah, and then in 1993, she released Live.
Yeah, which was recorded at a free concert in Corpus Christi.
Okay.
And this album earned her a Grammy Award
Wow.
for Best Mexican-American Album.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was the first time a female Tejano artist had won.
So it was like another breakthrough moment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
By 1994, she was getting into fashion and being an entrepreneur.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, she started designing and manufacturing her own clothing line.
Interesting.
Yeah, she opened 2 boutiques called Selena, etc.
Selena, etc.
Yeah, and they had in-house beauty salons.
Oh, wow. Fancy.
Yeah, and she put Yolanda Saldivar
Okay.
in charge of managing them.
So Yolanda's moving up in the world.
Yeah, and these boutiques did really well.
Okay.
And they actually helped Selena become one of the wealthiest Hispanic musicians in the industry.
So not just a musical icon, but like a businesswoman, too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's impressive.
And then in March 1994, she releases her 4th studio album, Amor Prohibido.
Amor Prohibido.
Yeah, and it debuted really high on the Billboard Latin charts and quickly became one of the best-selling Latin albums in the U.S.
Okay.
and had 4 #1 singles.
Wow. 4.
Yeah, it was a huge hit.
Okay.
And a lot of people consider Amor Prohibido to be the album that really opened Tejano music up to a wider audience.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't just her anymore.
Right.
She was bringing the whole genre along with her.
Yeah, and a lot of people were saying that she had become bigger than Tejano itself.
Wow. That's a big statement.
It is.
Yeah.
And she really broke down some barriers in Latin music with that album, and it earned her the title Queen of Tejano music.
Right. For so.
Yeah.
Wow.
Her influence was going way past Tejano, though.
Oh, okay. How so?
Well, she did a duet with the Barrio Boys called Donde Quiera que Estés,
Okay.
and that also hit #1.
Another #1.
Yeah, and that led to her touring in places where she wasn't as well known before,
Okay. So like where?
like New York.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and South and Central America.
So really expanding her reach.
Yeah, by late 1994, EMI Records finally saw that mainstream crossover potential.
Yeah, they were a little late to the party,
They were.
but they finally caught on.
They did, and they started planning her English language debut.
Good.
Yeah, and then in February 1995, she gave a record-breaking sold-out concert at the Houston Astrodome.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
It was, yeah, over 60,000 people.
That's massive.
Yeah, and she even made a cameo in the film Don Juan DeMarco
Okay.
with Marlon Brando and Johnny Depp.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she was really on the rise.
Yeah.
It's really sad because in early 1994, Yolanda Saldivar's role in Selena's life expanded.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, beyond just managing the boutiques,
Yeah.
she became Selena's registered agent.
Okay.
So handling a lot more of her business.
So she was given a lot of trust and responsibility.
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
And then by December of that year, things started to go wrong.
What happened?
The boutique started having financial problems, and some of the staff members started complaining about Yolanda's behavior.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What was she doing?
Like dismissing employees that she didn't like or people who questioned her.
Oh, so kind of like abusing her power a little bit.
Yeah, and Selena initially dismissed those concerns.
Oh, she trusted her so much.
She did, yeah.
Okay.
But her father, Abraham Quintanilla Jr., he started investigating
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he had been getting calls from fans who said they paid for fan club memberships and merch, but hadn't gotten anything.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and so he discovered that Yolanda had been embezzling money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, over $30,000.
That's a lot of money.
It is. Yeah.
Wow.
So on March 9th, 1995, he confronted her at the recording studio Q Productions
Okay.
and presented her with the evidence and basically banned her from contacting Selena.
Oh, wow, that's serious.
Yeah, he was done.
Yeah.
But Selena, she still wanted to try to save the friendship.
Oh, she was loyal to Yolanda.
She was.
Okay.
And she thought that Yolanda had some financial records that she needed for taxes.
Oh, okay, so she needed something from Yolanda.
Right. So against her father's wishes, she stayed in contact with her.
Oh, this isn't good.
And Yolanda kept delaying giving her the records.
Okay.
Yeah. And claiming that she had been assaulted in Mexico.
Oh, so coming up with excuses.
Yeah, making up reasons.
Okay.
So on March 31st, 1995, Selena went with Yolanda to a medical clinic in Corpus Christi
Okay.
because she was worried about her because of the alleged assault.
Right.
And then later that day, she went to go meet Yolanda again at her motel room
Okay.
at a Days Inn in Corpus Christi because she wanted those records.
Yeah.
And that's where it happened.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What happened?
So Yolanda shot Selena once in the right shoulder with a .38 caliber revolver.
Oh, my gosh.
And Selena ran out of the room towards the lobby, leaving a trail of blood.
Oh, that's awful.
And she collapsed, and the clerk called 911.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, but before she died, Selena told them that Yolanda Saldivar had shot her and gave them the room number.
Oh, wow. So she was conscious.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, that's awful.
And meanwhile, Yolanda tried to get away in her truck, but the police surrounded her.
Oh, okay.
And they had like a 9.5-hour standoff.
Oh, wow. 9.5 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
But eventually she surrendered.
Okay.
Yeah. And Selena was rushed to Corpus Christi Memorial Hospital, but she died about an hour later.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, from blood loss and cardiac arrest.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, it's terrible news. And the reaction was immediate.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were devastated.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, there was a public vigil that drew tens of thousands of fans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then the viewing of her casket the next day drew like 30 to 40,000 people.
Oh, my gosh.
And then the funeral itself was broadcast live on a bunch of radio stations.
Really, if at the family's consent.
Yeah.
Wow, people were just desperate for any kind of information.
Yeah, and it was compared to the deaths of John Lennon, Elvis Presley, and JFK.
Wow, so like a massive cultural moment.
Yeah, a major loss.
Yeah.
And news outlets all over the world were reporting on it.
Yeah, I bet.
The Hispanic community was especially hit hard.
Yeah, of course.
And there were vigils and memorials everywhere.
It's just such a tragedy.
It was.
Yeah.
People magazine even released a special commemorative issue about her.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it sold out multiple times, and they actually had to launch People en Español because of it.
Oh, wow. So her death actually led to the creation of a whole new magazine.
It did, yeah.
Wow, that's impact.
Yeah. But not everyone was respectful, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Howard Stern made some really offensive comments about her.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
Yeah, and it sparked outrage and boycotts.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah.
People were angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Governor George W. Bush declared April 16th, Selena Day in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, and Yolanda Saldivar, she was convicted of first-degree murder
Yeah.
and sentenced to life in prison
Wow.
with the possibility of parole after 30 years.
Okay.
And the gun that was used to kill her was destroyed
Oh, wow.
by court order.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not even around anymore as a piece of evidence?
No.
Wow.
So Selena was a soprano,
Okay.
and she was really influenced by Gloria Estefan.
Oh, yeah. Gloria Estefan, another powerhouse.
Yeah, she even said that Gloria paved the way for other Hispanic female artists.
Yeah.
And she was also into Madonna, Paula Abdul-Michael, and Janet Jackson, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, AC/DC, and Kiss.
Wow, that's a wide range of influences.
Yeah, she had a lot of different tastes.
Yeah.
And her music was really a blend of Tejano with R&B, Latin pop, techno-pop country, and even disco.
Wow, so she was kind of creating her own sound.
Yeah, and her lyrics were about love and pain and strength and passion,
Yeah.
and also inappropriate relationships and recovering from domestic violence.
Okay, so really relatable themes.
Yeah, exactly. And critics praised her emotional range.
Okay.
And they said that sometimes her voice had this quivering quality that conveyed passion.
Oh, wow.
And her brother A.B. helped to modernize her sound with funk and hip-hop elements,
Okay.
especially in her cumbias.
So he was really important in shaping her music, too.
He was, yeah. Selena and her family, they really wanted to project this clean-cut image.
Oh, so very family-friendly.
Yeah. But as she got more famous, she also became a sex symbol.
Okay.
But she always said that she didn't want to record any explicit songs.
Oh, so she wanted to keep it clean?
Yeah, because of her upbringing and her young fan base.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, she was known for her provocative clothing choices, though.
Like what kind of stuff?
Like bust ears and spandex pants and unbuttoned jackets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she got the nickname the Mexican Madonna.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
I can see the resemblance.
And she actually designed and sewed a lot of her own stage outfits.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
So she was really hands-on.
She was, yeah.
Okay.
And her clothing actually contributed to her becoming an active Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And she definitely changed how people viewed beauty in the Tejano world.
Oh, okay, so she really pushed the boundary.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But even after she died, some people questioned whether her clothing was appropriate for a role model.
Oh, yeah. So, like, was she setting a good example?
Right.
It's interesting, right? Because
Yeah.
times change.
Exactly.
And perceptions changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selena was also really involved in philanthropy.
Oh, okay, so she was giving back.
Yeah, she helped organizations like Toys for Tots.
That's cool.
Yeah, and she visited schools to talk about the importance of education
Nice.
and staying away from drugs and alcohol.
Very important message.
Yeah, and she even performed in Washington, D.C. for the Congressional Hispanic Caucus.
Wow, so she was really using her platform
Yeah.
for good.
Yeah, and she participated in benefit concerts for things like Hurricane Andrew relief. She hosted a charity baseball game.
Wow.
Yeah, and she even started planning a fundraiser for AIDS patients before she died.
Wow. So she was really committed to helping people.
She was.
Okay.
And she was a spokesperson for women in abusive relationships.
Wow, that's really important.
Yeah, and she helped out at homeless shelters, and she headlined the Teach the Children Festival.
Wow, so like a real role model in that sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Her legacy is huge.
Yeah, she really left a mark.
Yeah, she's considered one of the most significant Mexican-American singers of the 20th century.
Yeah, I can see that.
People magazine even named her one of the most intriguing people of the 20th century.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a pretty big honor.
it is.
Yeah.
And she really broke down barriers in the Latin music industry.
She was a pioneer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's credited with redefining Latin music in Tejano and cumbia and Latin pop.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah,
So, like, she didn't just perform it,
yeah,
she changed it.
exactly.
Wow.
And she became a cultural icon, especially in the U.S.-Mexico borderlands.
Right.
Yeah, her death is often called the most devastating loss in Tejano music history.
Yeah.
And she had this huge devoted following, especially among Hispanic fans.
Yeah. Like almost cult-like.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she's considered one of the most influential Latin artists of all time.
Yeah, definitely.
And she really brought Tejano music into the mainstream.
It's interesting, right? Because you said Tejano kind of went down after her death.
Yeah, it did.
But maybe that's because she had taken it as far as it could go.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, like she was the peak.
Yeah.
for
After
the-
she died, she became a household name, not just in the U.S. and Mexico, but really in American pop culture in general.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And her
Very-
popularity actually increased after her death.
Wow. So she became more famous.
Yeah, more famous in death than in life.
Wow.
Yeah, and some people even compare her to Marilyn Monroe or Madonna in that sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then her posthumous crossover album, Dreaming of You.
Dreaming of you.
Yeah, it debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that was a first for a Hispanic artist.
Wow. Another first.
Yeah, she also became the first solo artist to have a posthumous album debut at #1.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, and 5 of her other albums were on the Billboard 200 at the same time as Dreaming of You.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and that was also a record for a female artist.
So she was breaking records even after she was gone.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And to this day, Dreaming of You is still the best-selling Latin album of all time in the U.S.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Really a lasting legacy.
Yeah, and a lot of people think that her death really made people more interested in Latin music all over the world.
Yeah. It kind of opened the door.
Yeah, for other artists.
Yeah.
Like Jennifer Lopez, Ricky Martin, Shakira.
Wow. It's amazing to think about the ripple effects of
Yeah.
her life and her career.
And the name Selena even became super popular for babies.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
In 1999, Billboard called her the top Latin artist of the 90s
Okay.
and the best-selling Latin artist of the decade.
So she really dominated the 90s.
She did.
Wow.
And she's been given so many awards and honors,
Like what kind of stuff?
like inductions into music halls of fame,
Okay.
a memorial stamp from the U.S. Postal Service.
Wow.
Yeah, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Tell us what you think about this episode. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.